Hi, I'm Sammy Bullock. I'm building Interview with my brother and co-founder Daniel. And in one sentence, what we're looking to do is we want to replace the resume with real candidate intelligence. We want to provide AI-driven verbal interviews that turn how someone actually communicates and solves problems into a hiring signal for companies. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the problem, the product, which is already live, and we're launching in the next week, and kind of where we're looking to head. And I want to do a quick overview of the business, the product traction and momentum we have so far, and why we're excited about joining the product that we want to accelerate, Interview. So jumping right in, what is the problem that we're looking at? The problem is that hiring runs on a 50-year-old artifact, and that's being generous. It's really a 100-year-old artifact. The resume was popular in the 1930s. It really became commonplace and standard in the 1950s. But since the 1930s, we've been doing it the same. And it's really insane when you think about it, because that's about a century of progress. In a century, we went from the Model T to self-driving electric supercars. We went from wood and canvas airplanes to stealth bombers, to rocket ships, to walking on the moon. We went from coal to splitting atoms to power our cities. Yet, despite all of this progress, the only advancements that the hiring scene has seen has been, instead of printing them out and walking around handing them out, all we do is email them now. But the core data has not changed at all. And that's what we want to fix. Here's a landmark study I want to reference here. Schmidt and Hunter, 85 years of hiring research that scored how well different methods predict performance. Structured interviews came out essentially at the top, well ahead of unstructured ones and far ahead of resumes. The signal exists, but it's not really paid much attention to nowadays. So jumping ahead to the solution and the product. The solution, one verbal interview becomes a living profile. So what we built and is live today, but we're launching the next week, is one adaptive verbal interview becomes a living candidate profile scored on communication, skill, problem solving, whatever the recruiter might want to score for. Because it's structured, it's comparable and rankable, which resumes never are. Jumping ahead to the product, you can kind of see this. We're able to put into an array every candidate that applied to jobs, where the recruiter would rank them, and what their scores were based on questions that the recruiter asked. It scores their response based on that. And we can generate those shortlists and hand those out to employers. So candidates can use our live apply to apply to real roles and pre-qualify themselves with a short voice interview, answering the recruiter's questions that they submit. What employer gets is not just resumes, it's scored, evidence-backed profiles, ranking those candidates with actual quotes and trait breakdowns instead of just static, identical PDFs and ATS filtering softwares. This allows the recruiter to chop down on essentially 90% of their time, because they've gone from filtering through 300 applicants on LinkedIn and looking at everyone and weighing that fairly, versus we can provide them a short list of, say, 10 employees or 10 potential employees and say, these are the 10 people we think you should talk to first. And then the recruiter can kind of just go from there. So diving into the traction and momentum. So as far as momentum goes, and we'll talk about the building momentum because I think that's really important. But as far as just the kind of product momentum goes, so we're launching this next week. We have had fantastic feedback from our beta users and fantastic feedback from our testing site that we did on a real campus from both the university staff and the students that used it. We're in talks with a few other universities, and hopefully we can land a deal at or around the time school starts back up again this year. So we are making very sizable moves forward as far as validation from users, which is great to see. But as far as our momentum goes with just building this thing out is fantastic. We have built this whole thing out, the voice engine, scoring, recruiter dashboard, live apply, as just two people in probably a little over 10 weeks to 12 weeks. We have 3 schools in conversation. We have 1 school secured that we will be conducting a large case study and test on for this whole next year. And within the next 90 days, we hope to launch publicly. That's going to be in this next week. Get our first paid users through advertising online. And then hopefully we can sign a school pretty early on into the school year. And yeah, after this, I'll just jump straight into the team slide. And I'll tell you a little bit about us. This whole business was my idea, and my co-founder and technical co-founder helped me actually bring this to life. So I was unfortunate enough to live this problem. I went through nearly 10 rounds of elite screening to land my first job out of college. I was one of 4 spots for a global graduate talent program in the financial services industry. And I got to just live this whole broken process and get frustrated with me wanting to show them more of myself but not really being able to with just a flat resume. And, all the 9 rounds of hoops I had to jump through, which is kind of why I'm building it. My co-founder and brother, Daniel, is a self-taught full-stack developer of probably around 9 years who has previously built and launched a company to $350,000 in revenue in 4 months, which was really impressive, and that was really inspiring for me to see my older brother do something like that, and really, I guess, kicked up a fire in me to be able to do something like this. So yeah, us two paired together is domain meets execution. I'm an operator who lived the problem and a builder who ships at lightning speed. So from here, I just want to jump up a few slides actually to the go-to-market slide. And here I want to talk about why we're excited to join the LvlUp Labs Marketing Edge Accelerator and what we're looking to accelerate. Obviously, we're looking to accelerate this product. We're looking to accelerate our initial user base and do expansive B2C marketing and hoping to get guidance and help regarding that. We think this is a product that can change the landscape of hiring, and we're super excited about it. The problem is we both don't have that much expertise and knowledge in marketing. So we would love it if we could lean on some of the experts over at LvlUp Ventures, where we can learn and absorb a lot of the knowledge you guys are willing to help us out with and offer us, and using that knowledge to expand this product on this next launch this next week. So yeah, like I said, we're launching this month and this next week actually. We've ran a real pilot campus. The feedback was great. So what we need really isn't help building, it is help growing. What caught our eye about Marketing Edge was the fact that you guys, it's almost more of a curriculum and support than it is the cash investment. Obviously, the cash investment would help us tremendously, but it's the support and curriculum around it that we think we could greatly benefit from. So it's super exciting to me and my co-founder, and so exciting that I'm making this video at 1 in the morning, and I'm stoked to be able to have the opportunity to talk about this. And I'm super excited at the ability of you guys to just consider us for something like this. It truly is an honor, and we hope that we can provide enough value and wow you guys enough to let us get our foot in the door. Because if we get our foot in the door, we promise we will not disappoint with this. So I hope to see an email back in the next few days. And yeah, without further ado, thanks again, and have a good night.